Excellent. So we're standing on our mats, feet together. So turning toes out, followed by heels, just looking down at your feet, making sure they're tracking straight and parallel to each other. Soft through the knees, hips facing forward, shoulders round and down, and ears over the shoulders. Place the hands on the hips, and we're just going to rock that pelvis forward, flattening through the lumbar spine and rocking back and arching through the lumbar spine. Just a couple more times, just playing with that pelvis, and then finding our neutral spine position halfway between the two. Placing the hands over the rib cage, drawing the shoulders down the back. Nice deep breath in through the nose, feel the rib cage expanding, and out through the mouth. And again, deep breath in, trying not to breathe up into the shoulders and out through the mouth. So while we continue with the deep lateral breathing, I want you to think about that belt around your waist, drawing the sides towards each other and pulling the belly button back towards the spine. And at the same time, feel those pelvic floor muscles like a lift coming up. 1, 2, 3. So tightness through the whole abdominal core region, but you can keep with that deep lateral breathing. Relaxing the arms down by your side, and we're just going to loosen those shoulders, rolling those shoulders forward, nice and slow, taking the shoulders through their full range of movement. We're going to do one more time forward, and then we're reversing up to the ears, over the mountain, and down the other side, squeezing those shoulder blades together, working with the breath one more time, and we're relaxing the shoulders down the back, letting the arms hang. We're going to turn our heads to the left, obviously not forcing it, but taking the head as far as we can. Center back up, and then we're going to turn our heads to the right. Again, not forcing, but just feeling that stretch through the neck, and center back up, keeping those shoulders pulled together at the back. We're going to drop the chin to the chest, breathing through the stretch, and then bringing the eyes very gently up to the ceiling, and then feeling the chin jutting up to the ceiling and the stretch down the front of the neck. And center back up again. Good. We're going to drop left ear to left shoulder, and then chin to the chest, and slowly we're going to rub that chin along the chest, ending up with the right ear over right shoulder. Good. One more time to the other side. Chin to chest, very slow with this one. Keep those shoulders back so you can feel all those muscles being stretched through the neck, ending up with left ear over left shoulder, and back up to the center again. Good. So we're going to float the arms up towards the ceiling, shoulders down away from the ears, and we're palms facing each other. We're going to reach the right arm up, stretching all the way through that right side, and slide the shoulder blade down the back. We're reaching up with that left arm to touch the ceiling, and then sliding that shoulder blade down the back. We're going to float the arms back to shoulder height, bend the elbows and palms up towards the ceiling. Place the hands behind the head and interlock the fingers. Shrug those shoulders up to your ears. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, and then I will squeeze those shoulder blades together at the back. Unlock the fingers, palms facing away from you. We're going to bring the arms back down just behind the body, keeping those palms facing away from you. So you're getting a stretch through the front of the chest. One more time, floating those arms back up to shoulder height, bent elbows. Place the hands behind the head, interlock the fingers. Shrug the shoulders up to your ears. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Unlock those fingers, palms facing away from you, floating the hands down, bringing them behind the body so you're opening up through the chest there. Good, and then just give those arms a shake off. So we're going to take the right hand, place it on the base of the neck. The left hand is on the lower back. We're going to turn the hands towards each other, slide them down and up through the spine, and see if you can get those hands to touch behind. If you can, hook your fingers together. If not, if you feel like you really can't even get the hand down towards the back at all, you can place the hand onto the elbow and just increase that stretch back. Good. And we're just breathing through that. Good. Relax the hands down. Give them a bit of a shake. And we're going to change hands now. So we're going to go left hand onto the base of the neck, right hand into the lower back, and slide those hands up to meet each other. Good. Breathing through that. And again, release the hands, give those shoulders a nice shrug. We're going to go into our roll down, so scooping the belly button to spine, soft through the knees, chin to chest. We're going to start to peel the vertebra off the imaginary wall behind you. Arms hanging, head hanging. Let the crown of the head weight you down towards your toes, and then we're going to either hook the fingers under the toes or place the palms flat on the floor. And we're going to straighten through the left knee for 4, 3, 2, 1, and soften. Straightening through the right knee, trying to let the head hang, shoulders down the back, and soften. And then we're going to straighten through both knees, head down, shoulders drawn down the back. Breathing through that stretch. We're going to scoop belly button to spine, and slowly we're going to round back up, stacking that vertebra one at a time, coming up to standing. Roll those shoulders back. We're going to interlock the hands behind us, turn them inside out, keeping the legs straight. We're going to hinge forward from the hips and take the hands up towards the ceiling. Good. And again, just breathing through that stretch. And then rounding, soften the knees, round back up, stack the spine, and we're releasing the hand. So we're going to do one more roll down, and then we're coming down onto the mat. So if you need to adjust your cameras, when you're ready, standing at the ends of the mat, we're going to scoot belly button to spine. You can keep the knees straight if you want to this time, otherwise soften the knees. We're going to drop chin to chest, rounding down, arms hanging like a rag doll, all the way down to your feet, just letting the head hang, trying to straighten through those legs. And then we're going to soften through the knees, walk the hands forward, and we're coming down onto all fours. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and we're scooping that belly button up to the spine. Good. So into the cat stretch here. So on the in-breath, we're rounding thoracic back up towards the ceiling. On the out-breath, lengthen tail and crown and feeding on through into that back extension. In-breath, rounding thoracic back up towards the ceiling. Out-breath, lengthen tail and crown and into that back extension. We're just going to flex the back off one more time. So in breath, rounding thoracic back up towards the ceiling, and then we're coming back to our neutral spine position, and again thinking about drawing the belly button up to the spine. So we're sliding the left leg back, tuck that left toe underneath you, pushing back through the hands, and take that heel down towards the floor, and just feeling that lovely stretch through the calves. And this is always a good stretch because a lot of us tend to cramp, especially at night, through the calves. Really good to keep those stretched out. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sliding that left knee back in. Good. Sliding the right leg back. Tuck that right toe underneath you. Drop the right hip down. Push back through the hands. Heel to the floor. For 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sliding that right knee back in. Good. Into the hip drops. We're going to take both hips to the right. Look over the left shoulder at your feet. And in breath to center back up. If you want to come onto your forearms here to protect your wrist, that's fine. Taking both hips to the left, looking over your right shoulder. And again, this is a lovely stretch just to release any tightness in the hips. One more time to each side. The pelvic area, lower back. Good. And last time, over to the left, looking over your right shoulder at your feet. Good. Coming back up onto all fours. We're going to drop down onto our heels. Head down to the mat. Good. And then we're going to open our knees out to the side. So, Jane, if you want to come down to sitting, and we're going to open the knees out to the sides. If you want to do with open legs, walk the hands forward. Push through the hands. Take the head all the way down towards the floor. And then we're going to walk round to the left, reaching that right arm away from us. Feeling that stretch all through the right side. Back to the center again. And then we're walking the hands round to the right, reaching that left hand away. Good, feeling that lovely opening up through the left side. And then coming back to the center again. And we're going to round back up and stack the spine. Good. So we're coming back onto all fours. Jane, I'm just talking you through this quickly. We're going to do some hip openings with circling the leg, either on the ball, or I was thinking if it's easier for you to do it lying on your back and do the hip openings that way. Okay, but the rest of us, we're on to all fours. So just again thinking about that belly button drawn to the spine. We're going to take the left leg out to the side, and then we're going in an anti-clockwise movement. Anti-clockwise, yeah. We're going to go 3 circles. We're taking the hip through its full range of movement there. We're doing 3 circles in that direction, and then we're going to change direction. So going clockwise for 3, nice and slow, just loosening up and giving that hip full rotation through the ball and socket there 3 times, and then we're sliding that left knee back in. Good. Sliding the right knee out to the side. We'll start clockwise. So bringing it forward, round, back and through. Good. For 2. And last circle in this direction. And then we're changing direction. So take it back, round, up, forward, and center. For 2. And last time, round, back, and place that knee back down. You can sit back on your heels for a sec. Jane, if you want to come up to sitting, just stretch off, giving those wrists a bit of a breather. Good. Rounding back up and stacking the spine, and we're coming to sitting on the mat with the legs crossed. If that's comfortable for you. If that's not comfortable for you, you can have one knee bend, or you can have both legs straight out in front of you. If you're struggling to get straight through that lower back, just grab a cushion or block and just sit on the end of it. That just helps to straighten up through the back there. Good. Okay, we're going to take the right hand down to the mat, keeping the crown of the head lengthened. Slide the right hand away, and we're bringing the left hand over the top into a side bend. So again, just opening up through that left side. In breath to center, bringing the arm over. We're going to slide the left hand away now, bringing the right arm over the top, and again feel the opening all through that right side, and centering back up again. So we're going to place our palms together underneath our chins. This is to make sure the back of the head stays in line with the spine. And we're going into the spine twist. So again, crown of the head up to the ceiling. We're going to turn to the left, keeping the back of the head in line with the spine, looking back over that left shoulder, and in breath to center. Good. Over to the right side now. So all the way around, over that right shoulder. But as I say, don't let the head move away from the back of the spine. And center back up. One more time to each side, to the left. So we're really rotating through that spine here, stretching out any tightness that runs up through that spine and in the lower back. We're centering back up. One more time to the right. Good. And centering back up again. So we're going to lengthen the legs away. Stay on the block if you're sitting on a block or a cushion. Flexion through the feet. Take the arms out to the side. So we're going to turn to the left. So the right hand comes just to the outside of the left foot. The back hand, palm is facing down. We're hinging forward over the left knee. And we're going to saw for 3, 2, 1. Back up to sitting and center. Good. So turning to the right, we keep the head forward. We're going to hinge forward over that right knee, and we're sawing for 3, 2, 1. Back up to sitting and center. One more time to each side, but this time we're going to look back at our back hand. So as we hinge forward, look at your back hand, and we're sawing for 3, 2, 1. Back up to the center and centering those arms back up. Good. Sorry, looking over the right shoulder now at the back hand, hinging forward for 3, 2, 1. Back up and center those arms back up. Good. Place the hands on the floor. Just in front of you. Again, hinging from those hips so you're nice and long through the back. We're going to slide those hands forward. And then we're going to slide the right hand over the right foot into a side bend, bringing that left arm over and look up to the ceiling. Good. Place both hands back onto the floor. We're going to walk the hands across the front, each time trying to hinge a little bit lower. Left hand over left foot, into the side bend, right arm over the top and looking up at the ceiling. Good. One more time to each side. So chest to the floor. Walk the hands across, trying to drop a little lower. Right hand on right foot, left arm over the top and looking at the ceiling. Good. Last one now. Chest to the floor. Again, see if you can come a little lower in front. Left hand over left foot, right arm over the top. Look up at the ceiling. Nice deep breath. We're going to come back to the center again. And then rounding up through the back, stacking that spine and coming up to sitting. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to roll back down to the floor. So knees are bent, Coming all the way to the front of the mat, stacking up through the spine, arms out in front of you and shoulders down the back. So on the in-breath, we're going to draw the belly button to spine. On the out-breath, we're going to start to C-curve that spine and we're rolling down. So lumbar, thoracic, take the head down, reach the arms over the top, lengthen your legs away. So the back of the hands are on the floor, the feet are in flexion. And I don't want you to do anything about it. I just want you to have a little think where that lumbar spine is on the mat. And then we're going to reach that left arm and left leg away from you. So we're lengthening all through that left side and relax. Reaching the right arm and right leg away. And relax. One more time to each side. Reach that left hand to touch the wall behind you at the same time, lengthening the left leg. And relax, and then reach the right arm and right leg. And relax, and just see now if that lower back has relaxed a little bit more into the floor. So we're bending the knees now. Good. We're going to take both arms up to the ceiling. I want you to just have a little play with the neutral spine position. So I want you to roll that pelvis forward. As you do that, I want you to take your chin up to the ceiling. And then I want you to flatten through the lumbar spine and slide your chin towards your chest. Keeping that length through the back, your back and your neck. We're going to float the back of the hands down towards the floor. Relax the hands over, relax the back of the hands onto the floor and dropping those shoulders down. And then floating them back up to the ceiling again. So we're going to reach the right arm up. Imagine you're plucking the apple from the tree. And then you're going to lower the right arm down. As you do that, I want you to slide that shoulder blade down your back. Good. Reaching the left arm up to pluck an apple from the tree. As you lower the shoulder to the mat, slide that shoulder blade down the back. Reach the right arm to pluck that apple. We're going to bring the right arm between the left arm and the head over to that left side. And at the same time, we're going to turn our head to the right. Good. So your head is going in the opposite direction to the arm. Reach that right arm back up to the ceiling, and as you lower the shoulder to the floor, slide the shoulder blade down your back. We're reaching the left arm up to the ceiling. Bring the left arm over to the right between your arm and your head and turn to that left side. So head opposite direction to the arm. Good. Reach that arm back up to the ceiling again. That shoulder blade down your back. We're going to reach both arms up to the ceiling now. Now I want you to give yourselves a nice big hug. So wrap them around your body. Good. Feeling that stretch through the shoulders. Notice which arm is on top. Reach the arms back up to the ceiling again, so the shoulders are lifted away from the floor, and we're going to change the top arm and give yourselves another hug. Good. So stretching out through the shoulders, through the arms, and then reaching back up to the ceiling. Keep those shoulders lifted away from the mat. And then as you relax the shoulders down to the mat, slide the shoulder blades down the back. Good. Palms facing away from you. We're going to go right arm up, left arm down. Dragging the fingers on the floor, we're going to bring the arms out to the side, finishing with the left arm up, right arm down, and float back up to the ceiling again. Good. Left arm up, right arm down, dragging those fingers on the floor. I'm going to bring the arms out to the side, finishing with right arm up, left arm down, and back up to the ceiling again. We're going to try with double arms now. Keep the rib cage down. We're taking both arms up above the head. Keep that rib cage locked into the mat. Take both arms out to the side, dragging the fingers on the floor all the way down to your toes and back up to the ceiling again. Good. We're going to bring the hands down to your feet this time. Both hands down to the feet, dragging the fingers on the floor. We're going to bring the arms up above the head, lock that rib cage down, and float the hands back up to the ceiling again, palms facing each other, shoulders down the back. So we're going to come up into the shoulder bridge. So when you're ready, we're curling that pelvis up off the mat, peeling the vertebra one at a time, pushing forward through the fronts of the thighs, squeezing the glutes as we come up into that shoulder bridge position. Holding for an in-breath. Check to see whether your pelvis is level. And then we're going to come back down one vertebra at a time, keeping that pelvis curled up until the end. Good. Next time, deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're curling that pelvis up off the mat. Now, as you're starting to peel up, we're going to bring those arms up over the head. So not forcing them to the floor. If it's not comfortable, you can keep them slightly lifted. So the hands are up above the head onto the floor and you're up in that shoulder bridge position. Make sure you're keeping that neutral spine. As you start to come back down to the floor, we're going to bring the arms forward. So we're coming back down one vertebra at a time. As you come down to the mat, we're going to bring the hands all the way to the floor. Good. Last time, deep breath in, draw the belly button to spine. As we start to curl up, we're going to take those arms up to the ceiling, all the way over. So as we're coming up into the shoulder bridge, the hands are on the floor above the head. Last one now, as we start to come back down one vertebra at a time, we're going to bring those arms back forward, ending up with the arms down by your sides. Brilliant. So taking the arms out to the side now at shoulder height. If you remember the ringing, the washing, so we're going to roll the right hand back. At the same time, we're going to roll that left hand forward. And then we're going to reverse. So right hand forward, left hand back. So we're keeping the hands on the floor, just rolling them forward and back. Now we're going to start to turn our head towards the hand that is rolling back along the floor. Good. And once you've started to get to the rhythm, we're going to drop our knees in the opposite direction to the head. The feet don't stack. They just drop down as where they are. Good. And then we're going to change. So as the hand rolls back, the head is following the hand that's rolling back, and the knees are being dropped in the opposite direction. And just nice deep breath through the stretch. We're not forcing anything. We're just stretching the whole body perpendicular to each other. Good. We're going to do one more time to each side. Again, breathing, nice deep breath. Good. Last time. And we're centering. Back up again. Close those knees and feet together. Keep the arms out to the side. We're going to drop both knees to the left and the head is going to go to the right. So the knees and feet are stacked this time, one on top of each other. We're going to flex through the right foot and lengthen that right leg over the left, keeping the foot in flexion. It's supposed to be straight, but I've got a wall in my way. So nice straight leg taking all the way over to that left side. Take the heel to the floor if you can and just feel that stretch through the right side. Good. And then we're going to stack knees and ankles. Take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up. Good. We're going to take both knees over to the right. Head goes to the left. Foot in flexion. We're going to take the heel to the floor as we lengthen that leg away from you. Good. And again, just breathing through that stretch. Sorry, I know you can't see my toe there, but the toes up towards the ceiling. Good. And then we're stacking knees and ankles. Take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up. We're floating the right leg up into tabletop. Keep a gap between the left and right leg so they don't want to be resting on each other. Controlling the movement through the core. We're going to take both knees over to the left. Head goes to the right. So that right leg, there's a gap between the right leg and the left. And then lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up again. We're changing legs. So float the left leg up to tabletop. Keeping the gap. Control the movement through the core. Don't let those knees just flop. We're taking both knees over to the right. Head goes to the left. And then take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up again. We're going to float both legs into tabletop. Now we're going to try and do a double leg hip roll. If it feels too much, double leg, go back to the single leg. So we're going to take both knees over to the left, control the movement. So we're really engaging those core muscles here. Good. All the way over to the left. Take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up. Good. On the out breath, we're taking both legs over to the right. Head goes to the left. Again, control the movement. Lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up. One more time to each side. Both legs over to the left. Good. And obviously, if you want to make it a little bit harder, you keep that tabletop position as opposed to just dropping your heels to your glutes. Keep the legs up in that tabletop. Good. We're going to take both legs over to the right. Control through that core. Good. Take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up again. Brilliant. We're going to take both arms up to the ceiling, shoulders down the back, flex through the foot, and we're heel tapping. We're going to tap the left foot to the floor, left hand comes down, right arm goes up. Good. And back to the center. Good. Right foot down and comes back up. We're locking that lumbar spine down into the mat. Good. And remember, if you want to make it harder, just take those knees out a little bit away from the hips. Good. And you can take the leg a little bit longer. Good. We're doing 5 more to each side. So for 5 and 5, breathing out to lower, in breath to come back up. For 4 and 4. Good. 3 more to each side. For 3, lock the back down. Draw the belly button to spine. Make sure that belly button isn't popping up. For 2 and 2. Last one here to each side. And 1. Good. We're going to hug those knees into your chest, rock from side to side, and loosen off that back. Brilliant. So when you're ready, I'm going to take both feet back down to the mat, keeping the hip distance between your knees and your feet. We're going to slide the left leg away. As we do, we're going to bring the right arm up above the head. Pointing through the toe, we're going to take the leg up towards the ceiling, come up from the breastbone and take hold of that leg. Shoulders down the back, drawing the knee towards your nose. Keep hold of the leg. We're going to take the head back down to the floor, increasing the stretch. And we're going to start to point and flex through the toe. Good. Point and flex. 2 more times. Point and flex. Last one. Point and flex. We're lowering the left leg down. As we do, we're sliding the right arm up above the head. And then draw the knee back to the center as we bring the right arm back down to your side. Good. So sliding that right leg away, flexion through the foot, left arm comes up above the head, pointing through the toe. We're taking the right leg up to the ceiling, come up from your breastbone, take your calf, shoulders down the back, draw the leg towards your nose. Make sure you're keeping your chin to the chest. Keep hold of the leg, lower the head back down to the floor, increasing the stretch. And we're starting to point and flex through the foot. Point and flex. Good. 3 more times. Point and flex. 2 more times and flex. Last one. Point and flex. We're lowering that right leg to the floor. As we do, the left arm comes up above the head, and we're sliding that knee back in, lowering the arm down. Brilliant. So we're going to turn on to our right sides now. Grab a block or cushion to place underneath your head. We're keeping both knees bent. The arms are straight out in front of you. Shoulders are stacked. Hips are stacked, knees are stacked. Good. So keeping that left hip pushed forward, we're going to take that top arm up to the ceiling, driving that left hip forward. Follow the hand with your head as we open the arm out. Good. So we're trying to get that arm down to the floor, but obviously not forcing it. And then we're drawing the arm back up to the ceiling and closing that book up. Good. In breath, arm up to the ceiling. Push that top hip forward. On the out breath, we're taking the arm into the open book. We're going to draw the chalk circle. So keeping the hand on or towards the floor, we're going to come down over your legs, crossing over the open hand, up above the head, driving that hip forward. Follow the hand with the head into the open book, and then we're drawing that arm back up and closing the book. One more time. In breath, arm to the ceiling. Push that top hip forward. Follow the hand with the head. We're drawing the chalk circle, but we're coming up above the head this time. Crossing down over the open hand, over the legs, into the open book, turn to face the hand, and then we're drawing the arm back up and closing that book up. Brilliant. So just before we change sides, we're going to do a nice plank here. So when you're ready, we're going to come onto our forearms, tuck the toes underneath you and into the plank position. If you find that difficult, just drop the knees down. So get in the plank position and then lower the knees. If you can hold the plank, we're going to hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. We can sit back on your heels for a second. Jane, if you want to hug your knees, lie on your back and hug your knees in. Just sit back, loosen that back off. And then when you're ready, we're grabbing our blocks and we're coming onto our left side. And knees are bent. Arms straight out in front of you, stacking shoulders, hips and feet. Keep that right hip driving forward, don't let it flop back, and we're taking that right arm up to the ceiling, driving that right hip forward. We're going to follow the hand with the head into the open book position, and on the out breath, we're drawing the arm back up and over again. Good. Deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to take that top arm up to the ceiling. Push that top hip forward. Follow the hand with the head. We're doing the chalk circles here. So we're going to start off by coming down over the legs, crossing over the open hand, up above the head, into the open book, driving that top hip forward. And then we're going to close that arm back up again. So bringing it up to the ceiling and closing that book. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, arm to the ceiling. Push the top hip forward. Follow the hand with the head. We're drawing the chalk circle. We're coming up above the head this time. Crossing over the open hand. Down over the legs into the open book position. And then we're drawing that arm back up and closing that book back up. Brilliant. We're going to do another plank. So when you're ready, we're going to roll over onto our forearms, tuck your toes underneath you into the plank position. Good. Remember, don't dip through that lower back. Keep the belly button pulled to the spine, shoulders relaxed and down your back. Back of the head in line with the spine for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Lower the knees. Again, Jane, if you want to roll on your back, we're going to sit back into the child pose. We can open the knees to the side if you want, just to really get a lovely deep stretch through the lower back. And we're going to come on to our fronts now. So when you're ready, we can either go from the child pose position to lying on our fronts. Our hands are at the edges of the mat, probably just above where our heads are, slightly. Or let's just say have your elbows at shoulder height, really. I want you to have a little play with your neutral spine position here. So I want you to think about lifting the front of your hips up away from the mat. As you do that, you should feel that you flatten through that lumbar spine. That is the position we want to be keeping when we're lying on our fronts. Just to feel the difference now, I want you to feel like you're arching through your lumbar spine. So I want you to take your tailbone up towards the ceiling, and you might feel when you do that pinching in your lower back. So obviously that's the position we want to try and avoid. So one more time, we're going to lift the fronts of the hips up away from the mat. Feel that flattening through the back. Imagine a little pin underneath the belly button, and you're drawing that belly button away from the pin. From there now, we're going to go into our W arms. So we're going to lengthen through the back of the neck, and we're going to bring the hands up either side of the shoulders. Now remember, the back of the head stays straight, so we don't want to be pulling our eyes up. Keep the eyes down to the mat and lower back down again. Good. One more time on the out breath. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Keep the belly button to spine. Don't lose your neutral spine position. And we're lowering back down. Good. One more time on the out breath. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And we're lowering back down. We can place our hands on top of each other. Place your foreheads down onto your hands. We're going to go into heel kicks now. So I don't know if you just want to watch the first one. So we're going to go right leg. We're going to kick up, pointing through the toe. We're going to kick 1, 2, 3 to the glutes. Flex the foot. We're going to take the foot up to the ceiling. When we do that, we don't want to be lifting the hip up. The hip stays down. We're just lifting the knee up off the floor. Lengthen the leg away with a pointed toe and lower back down. Okay, and then we're going to change legs. So when you're ready, pointing through the right toe, we're going to kick it up for 1, 2, 3. Flex the foot, take the foot to the ceiling, keep the hip down. Pointing through the toe, we're going to lengthen the leg away, keeping it lifted away from the mat, and lower back down again. We're firing up the glutes here. We're going to go left toe, pointing, kick. 1, 2, 3. Flex through the foot. Take the foot to the ceiling. Keep the hip down. Pointing through the toe and lengthening it away. Keeping the knee lifted up off the floor. And lower back down. Good. 2 more times to each side. Right foot kick. 1, 2, 3. Flex through the foot. Take the foot up to the ceiling, pointing through the toe. We're going to lengthen the leg away and lower back down. Good. Left leg kick. 1, 2, 3. Flex. Lift up to the ceiling, pointing through the toe and lengthening, and lower back down. Last time to each side. Right foot kick. 1, 2, 3. Flex. Lift. Lengthen the leg away and lower back down. Good. Left leg kick. 1, 2, 3. Flex. Lift. Lengthen the leg away and lower back down. Good. If you could just have another look at me a minute. We're going to bend the right foot, catching with the right hand, left foot with the left hand. We're going to lift the knees up and pull the chest up off the floor into the back extension. Now, if you can't reach your ankles and you've got your bands handy, you can just place your bands around your feet and hold on to it. If you still find that uncomfortable, you could just do one side. So just do the right side and then change to the left, okay? Have a go. I'm going to have a look. So we're going to take, Nini, I'm not seeing you very well there. I can see your feet though. So try and grab right foot and then left foot. Good. And then you're going to lift the knees up away from the mat. At the same time, you're going to lift the chest up and into that back extension. Good. Trying to get the knees up away from the mat and lower back down. We're going to do it one more time. Keep hold of the feet if possible. One more time. You're going to lift those knees up, push into your hands. Pull back, good, into that back extension. It's a lovely stretch, opening up through the front, lower back down. Okay, you can let go of your ankles. We're going to come back into a child pose here. So Jen, if you want to roll on your back again, back into a child pose, head down, stretching out through that back. And then again, we can open those knees. So Jane, take your knees shoulder width apart, nice and wide, rocking back and forth. Open those knees out. Creep those fingers away from you, shoulders down the back. And then we're going to walk the hands back towards us, rounding back up and stacking that spine. Good job, everyone. Okay, so we're going to come on to our sitting position. We're going to do a couple of roll-ups and roll-downs. So feet in flexion, legs are long. Again, if you've got a band handy and you know you struggle with this one, just use the band around your feet. Arms out in front of you, shoulders down the back. So drawing the belly button to spine, we're C-curving that lower back and we're starting to come down. So we're coming down, lumbar, keep the shoulders down and the chest wide, lumbar, thoracic, take the head down, reach the arms over the top. Squeeze those knees and feet together. Deep breath in as we breathe our arms to the ceiling. Come up from the breastbone. Look at your toes and we're rolling back up. Good. All the way up. Reach the arms over the toes. and drop the head down. Good. Now, if you're struggling a little bit with the coming back up, play with the leg position. You might find it easier to slightly bend those knees, okay? So have a play. You might find it easier to actually have the knees bent as well. So just have a play with that if it's feeling like a difficult job to get out up. Draw the belly button to spine. I mean, I find it harder to bend the knees, but that's because of the proportion. Some people might find it easier. We're coming lumbar thoracic. Take the head down, reach the arms over the top. Deep breath in as we breathe out. Arms to the ceiling, come up from the breastbone, looking at your toes, and we're rolling back up. Reach the arms over the toes and drop the head down between the arms. Keep the arms lifted away from the feet. We're stacking that spine. Last time now, scoop the belly button to spine. We're rounding back down, lumbar thoracic. Take the head down, reach the arms over the top. Last time to come up now. Deep breath in as you breathe out. Arms to the ceiling. Come up from the breastbone. Look at your feet. We're rounding back up. This time we're going to grab hold of those toes. Drop the head down between your arms. Just breathe through that stretch, lengthening through the back. On each out breath, try and take your chest a little bit lower down over the knees. Good. Rounding and stacking that spine. Last time now, we're just going to roll down to the floor. So drawing the belly button to spine. Keep the arms relaxed, shoulders down your back, lumbar thoracic. Take the head down, reach the arms over the top. Good. And then we're going to bend those knees. Bring the arms back to your side. We're going to place the right ankle onto the left knee and draw that left knee up towards your chest, shoulders down your back. Good. And just drawing that knee in, we're going to roll ever so slightly onto your left side. So lifting that right side up by 1 or 2 centimeters just to increase that stretch. Keep the pull on the left leg. Good. You should be feeling a stretch through that right side. You might be feeling it through the inside, through the groin on that right side. We're just breathing through that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and centering back up. We're changing legs. So left ankle onto right knee. Draw the right knee up towards your chest, shoulders down your back. Again, we're going to roll onto that right side, lifting that left side up by a couple of centimeters. 4, 3, 2, keep that stretch, increase it a little bit. Breathing through that. Good, and center back up. We're taking both feet to the floor. We're going to roll onto our sides and come up to sitting. Now, we've done this one before. I just can't remember whether so we're going to be doing that psoas stretch, but slightly different. So we're going to bring the left foot in front of the right knee. Okay, now I don't know whether this is better or worse than the other one. And then we're going to slide the right leg back. How's that for everyone? I'll come round to the front so you can sort of see where my left foot is. So the foot is actually on the floor. The side of the foot is on the floor. Is that looks worse than the other one? Okay, so if in that case, then we're going to stick with the one we did last term. So grab your cushions and we're going to place them underneath the right knee. Good. And left foot is going to come forward to the front of the mat. Okay, we're going to slide that right hip forward. So sliding the hip forward to the end of the mat, right arm up to the ceiling. Good, and over into that left side bend. Good, so keep driving that right hip down. We should be sliding forward over that left knee. Good, bring the arm back down. We're going to take the hands either side of the foot, the left foot. Tuck that right toe underneath you, and we're straightening through that back leg. Good, take the heel down towards the floor. If you want to come up, you can always come up through the chest if you want to, or if you can. Good, place that right knee back down to the floor. Top of the foot goes on the floor. Straighten through the left leg. Drop the chest over the left knee. Good, and just breathing through that lovely hamstring stretch there. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. We're going to change legs now. So block goes under the left knee. Right foot forward. I know this feels like a faffy stretch, but it's such a good muscle to stretch, this hip flexor psoas muscle. Can cause a lot of back issues. We're going to slide that right knee forward, drive the left hip down towards the floor. Take the left arm up to the ceiling, and again over into a side bend, so over to a right side bend. Keep driving that left hip forward. Good. Take both hands down either side of the right foot. Tuck that left underneath you, and we're straightening through the back leg. And again, if you want to come up through the chest, place the hands onto your knee. Good. Keep driving that left hip down towards your right heel. That really helps to increase that stretch. We're going to lower the knee back down onto the block. Top of the foot on the floor. Straighten through the right leg. Lift the toes up. And we're going to drop down over that right knee. So you almost want to feel in this stretch that you're taking your glutes down towards your heels. That really increases that stretch all up into that hamstring. And this stretch is particularly good because it gets you where you're tight. So you might not feel it straight down the middle of the hamstring. You might feel it a little bit through the inside. Again, which is a good muscle to stretch. Brilliant. Okay, so we're coming back onto all fours. Jane, if you want to come straight into down dog. So into all fours, tuck your toes underneath you. We're pushing up to down dog. Feet hip width apart. Take the head through to the knees, shoulders down the back. Breathing through that stretch. Try and take the heels to the floor and straight through the knees. And then we're going to soften through the knees. Walk hands back towards your feet. Deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're rounding back up, stacking that spine. Well, good job, everyone. Excellent.